Hello everyone, welcome to Dax Custom Corner tonight. I'm going to start doing a kind of an intro into doing something that my son has brought up, and he wanted to kind of see something as to how I did it. The trucks, a couple of this truck and this car here, you'll see they have Z'd frames on them, and he's kind of curious as to how they came about and how I did it. Also, I want to say happy birthday to my son. It's his birthday today. So happy birthday to you, Brian. On the cars that you see in front of you, the 32 Highboy is left pretty much stock height, other than dropping the body down over the frame a little bit to get the Highboy effect. 29 Ford in the background is also left at stock height, just to give you an idea. The 29 in the foreground here, however, has been seriously Z'd to get it down to hammer, to the height that it is. And you can see the height difference in between the two. Camera angle may not show it too well, but laying this across the roof, you can see that the roof of this, the black truck, the Killins Gravel, is up to the belt line of the purple truck in the background. Now, granted, the top is chopped on this, whereas this one isn't. Although this one has the upper quarter-inch of the roof that's been taken out of it to get the roof down a little bit lower than stock, but we'll get into that stuff later. But what I'm going to be talking about in the how-to video is what you can see here. A lot of people, you probably already know what this is, Z in the frame. You can see a little bit of the frame right here, how it cuts up, or it cuts upward, and then back here, how it juts up a little bit as well, compared to the stock frame that you'll see here. This is the stock uncut frame. The frames on the 30, the Model A's and then the 32 Fords were all pretty much straight. They didn't really have any upward curve like the frames do nowadays to get it to go up and over the rear axles and such. So we'll go over, in the video we'll start the Z process to show you how I do it. It may not be the correct way to do it. It's the way I've always done it, and the results are, pretty good, whatever. But the Hot Rod Lincoln here has got a Z'd frame as well. Say hi to Mr. Bones, everybody. But you can see here a little bit better on this one, or the Z, where the kick up is on the front of it. The back's kind of hidden by the body, whatever. But actually, you can see it down inside it's right here. A real car, I don't know if that'd be too much of a fun or a drive, but yeah, for this project, it was not about safety so much like cars nowadays. 28 Lincoln's got a 53 Corvette straight six motor in it, engine in it. 35 Cadillac grill and headlights on it. And I'm back again. Had a phone call come through. Funs and joys of doing the YouTube videos using your cell phone for your camera and not having a separate camera. But that'll hopefully change down the line. But on like I said, on the 28 Lincoln, to get this kick up on there, that's what we're going to be talking about as far as Z, what they call Z in the frame. It's just a way to get the bodies, get the cars to sit lower, to squat down more. Modern day cars, you'll find, you already know, or probably know, that the way they do it nowadays is by suspension. Whether you airbag it or it's done by lowering struts, or take your pick. I don't know all the different ways of lowering suspension kits and stuff nowadays, but I know airbagging and by struts and so on and so forth, that they tend to get the cars down a little lower nowadays by doing those. Back then, back in the early, the 20s and 30s, and even up into the 40s, they didn't have that technology, so they had to do with what they did. And a lot of the guys would either cut the frames, or back then, I guess they did the dropped I-beam suspension, or the axle, like what you see here. This has got the dropped I-beam on it, as well as the Z frame, just to get it down that much lower. One thing everybody will find as you watch the videos and see all my stuff that I've done, you'll know that I tend to like my stuff as low as possible. I like my stuff pretty low, but I can't even pick it up here. Hold on a second. But tonight I'm just kind of talking about what we're going to be getting into. Next video I'll be actually starting to use it. What I'll do is I'll prep the side of this frame, sand it down, get it back down to white plastic. That way I can mark it, draw some marks on it as far as where we're going to cut. And then I'll show you a couple of different ways it can be cut. One thing you got to watch out when you're Z-ing a frame is you got to watch, if you don't want your wheelbase lengthened out, you got to watch how you stack the frames. Because what you'll see is on this one, you get a little bit of a forward kick to the frame. And it will bring the actual front end of the car forward or the rear end of the frame back. That's kind of evident on the 28 Lincoln here too. You'll see from point A to point B, it's kind of leaned forward a little bit, so you get a little bit of a forward jut, a little bit forward motion out of it, or movement out of it. But we'll go over that in the videos as we start doing all this. Trying to think anything else I need to say here. Oh, I also use what I call them like frame jigs. I don't know, in the real hot rod world, they call them frame tables. This is just one that I use. It's not really the glamorous example, but all it is just a piece of solid steel. Some of them I use a piece of mirror. Anyway, on these, I draw like a center line down the center of the table. And that's where I kind of use this as a center line to the frame when I start to jig this up and start to build it up. And then I also sometimes will draw the crossways, the lines going across in like a red marker. That way it denotes where the actual wheels or the center line of the axles will be. And that'll be kind of where the wheelbase will set it up at. A lot of times on these frame tables, like on a real car, you actually build the car off of that. And wherever you set the frame kind of dictates where the ride height of the car is going to be when it's done. So you'll probably see me using one of these, if nothing else, just to kind of keep the frame level and true and not getting all warped and out of sorts. But I'm planning on over the weekend trying to start to get this video going, the segment going. So I hope you all stay tuned and keep in touch, and we'll be hopefully getting some frame work done here. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch up with you later. We'll see you at the corner. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Just wanted to kind of quick show you what I was kind of talking about as far as a frame jig. This is a car that I'm building. Have been building this car for quite a long time. This is a scratch-built frame for a 1944 that I'm building. The only thing that I used out of the kit was the center section, the two orange pieces you see on here. But you'll see on here where I used the red line down the middle. I have the red line coming across here and the red line coming across here. This is the front center line for the front axle, and then this is the rear center line for the rear axle. You also see on here where I have everything kind of handwritten and marked. The center line of the body all the way through to this is where the door jamb lines up on the rear edge of the door jamb to the recorder. Trans mount. This will be a master cylinder mount going in right here. Motor mounts up in front. Radiator mount will be across the front here. Reason why the motor mount's set so far forward is this is going to have a flathead V12 in it. It's a custom illustration off of a friend of mine built or drew up years ago, and I've been kind of building it slowly but surely over the years, but one of these years I'll get around to finishing getting it done. That's the V12. It's got a fin flathead or fin heads on it, and it'll have 6 injectors coming off the intake with the injector heads on it. This is the body behind here. It's been kind of an ongoing project for quite a few years. And here, like I was saying before in the videos, where I kind of like to show where things have been cut. That way people can kind of get an idea how things were cut and modified. Something like this shows it pretty good. This has got a few different bodies mixed in it. Everything in the back, everything but the yellow part is all 3940 Ford. The yellow part is the front fenders, the front off of the Boy DeLuma coupe. This is kind of based off of an envelope style body. And where you see here, where the car is sitting on the jig, this is going to be the final ride height of the car. This is where the body will meet the ground, and that's where it'll sit when it's in final form. Rear quarters are cut down. Front the Luma coupe was cut. By staggering your plastic this way, it just helps stiffen it up and make it a little bit more stronger to where you don't snap it when you're doing final sanding or prep work further on. Chunk here to fill in the quarter windows. Back half off of another 39 Ford. Rear window out of another one. When this is done, the grill will actually be pivoted off a center point up front, and the hood and the grill will actually roll forward, showing the engine off. Right now it's just taped at the cowl just to give an idea where things are lining up at. But in the future, I'll get the artwork and everything out that he drew up for this car and kind of show you what the car is supposed to look like in final form, just to give you an idea. But it's just something, like I say, it's just a cool project I've been working on for many years, and one of the years I'd like to finish it, get it done. But I just wanted to kind of show you the idea behind the frame jig that I use. This is actually a piece of glass. Some I use a mirror on, some I use just a piece of solid steel with the lines drawn on it, however. But let's just give you an idea. Thanks for watching, and I will see you real soon. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.